Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Haraz, and I'm gonna share my uh discussion with all of you. Okay. Hello, everyone. So let's start it. So my topic is about global warming. So what is global warming? Global warming refers to the long-term increase in Earth's average surface temperature due to human activities, particularly to the emission of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The primary greenhouse gases responsible for this warming effect include carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere, preventing it from escaping into space and leading to a gradual rise in global temperatures. The main contributors to the increase in greenhouse gases emissions are humans' activities such as burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas for energy, deforestation, industrial processes, and certain agriculture practices. These activities release large amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, intensifying the natural greenhouse effect. So yeah, that is the global warming. So let's start with the questions. Do you know what is the global warming? Anyone who wants to answer? Okay, nobody? Okay, Apriya. Okay, you can
Okay,
answer now.
in my opinion, global warming is the increasing of the Earth's temperature. That's all that I know.
Okay, that's correct. Anyone? Anyone? Only. Okay, you can unmute. Ekalita Sari, do you want to answer?
Yeah, global
Okay.
warming is causes because of higher temperature because of the pollution and also yes, I think the pollution is the matters and also because of we planting some plant in the uses the glasses so it reflect to the sun and make the ozone is like a hole.
Okay, I know what's your point there about the greenhouse thing. Okay.
Yeah, greenhouse, that's right.
No one? Only two people? Really? Only two people? Who wants to answer? Really? Only two people?
I think I forgot to mention the deforestation.
Oh yeah. Nobody? Only two people? Okay. Let's move on to our next question. What is the impact of global warming? Okay, you can answer. Okay, first of all, Apriya, you could answer now.
The impact of the global warming that I know is first thing first is the increasing of the Earth's temperature, and the second one is the melting ice in the polar, right? And then yeah, that's all that I know.
Okay. Now, Ekalita Sari, you could unmute now and you could answer it.
Yeah, the two causes has been mentioned by Apriya, and I want to add climate exchange. Of course, it's impact from the global warming. So and there is many disaster because the environment is unbalanced, like flooding and eruption, and there is also like erosion. Yeah, also as well.
Okay. So like natural events happening
Yeah,
like that?
natural disaster because
Yeah.
the higher temperature and the melting ice.
Okay. So yeah, Sophie Rula, you could answer now. Please unmute.
All right, thank you, Mr. Harris, for the opportunity. I'm really glad that you bring up this topic because this kind of it's very important to keep discussing it since then and now. Since the election thing, we kind of forget other problems that we have since decades ago. I think regarding to the question, specifically in Europe, we have four session, and in winter we don't have snow at all, which is kind of sad due to global warming. And here is during the November, December, and January, we just having like a rainy day. There was no snow during the whole 3 months. There is a snow the first week of winter, but after that it just gone rapidly. So I think that's one of the cause of global warming. Other impact is of course there's a lot of animals and plants which only able to survive in a particular temperature, in a very cold temperature, like a penguin or other insects, and they all die significantly, which is kind of like a really sad phenomenon that we need to face right now.
Yeah, and some animals gone extinct because of the global warming too, right?
That is all right. Yeah, that is all right. I think those are the examples that we can able to witness today. Thank you.
That's all?
That is all, Mr. Harris.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Only how much it was? 3 people? Really? Or should I choose some people? Okay, let me choose. Mr. Yanuar?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please answer the question right here.
Okay, thank you for the chance given by Mr. Haras. Actually, I've already up my hand, but because someone just already answered, but I think I just wanted to continue the material. The impact of the global warming is also the increase of sea level because of polar ice is melt down, and then the increase of greenhouse effects, of course, and then also the impact of global warming. As you know, the temperature in the Earth, especially in Indonesia, is also higher than the years before. I also experienced like this. And then deforestation, and then the chain food in the animal's life is also broken or destroyed because there is main source for the carnivore animals, just like before are extinct, going to extinct because of environmental just because of destroy, yes, because of environment is destroyed, so there is no source for the carnivore animal to stay alive. Maybe just for my answer. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, yeah, I'm gonna choose a couple people. Oh, Muthia. Yeah, you may answer.
Hello. I think one of the social impact of the global warming is, in some area where the disaster or where climate event happen, it makes the people live there. They lost their house, they lost their uh, job, and etc. So it directly impact of the economy and the and the health rate in that area. But sometimes we as the other society that lives in different city or different area, or even the governor can really help them to restore what they how they live previous the before the global warming disaster. So I think one of the worst or the worst impact in social aspect is the direct significance to the poor, the economy, and also the health. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, so basically, okay, yeah. Mr. Kush, you may answer.
It's okay. You may respond, Miss Balutia, first.
All right. Yeah, so what Mutia said, it was basically the habitat has broken, so some animals couldn't live how they used to. Okay. So I'll choose one more. Mr. Nopian, you may answer now.
Okay, I'm here. Yes, my voice is good or not?
It's good, it's clear.
Here. I just want to answer this question first. What is the impact of global warming? And I think there are a lot of impact on global warming because we can see on the internet first. Because I think, in my opinion, the impact the global warming is the movement of the temperature to be hotter than before, than purposely. And I'm thinking global warming makes a lot of impacts from our proposal, because you can see on my background that it is global warming had made it, because it is like burning in the forest. Yeah, I guess global warming is not good, but okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Saharas.
Okay, that's all. Okay, that's all. Okay, I think everyone has answered, so I think should we move to the next question? Okay, what contributes to global warming? Okay, Mr. Yanuar, you may answer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harras. I think I just want to mention one of the contributors that lead to the global warming. I think for the first is the increase of carbon monoxide level in the air, which released by the petrol vehicles, the increase consume of the non-bio, I think non-green fuel, it leads to the global warming. I think that's my answer.
Okay, so it's like burning fossil fuels. Okay. You know what? Let me choose. Mr. Novian?
Yes, I'm curious. I have on opinion like this, because weather contributes to global warming, because I think global warming is impacting by problems such as pollution and illegal logging and a lot of greenhouse, I think. And I think we have to think about this problem first, such as this problem are difficult to finish it, because we have to solve from the pollution first. We have to use the new technology, such as uh, electric car and others, because we have to reduce the pollution in our country or our earth first. That's all.
Okay, that's all from Mr. Novian. Okay, Mrs. Murthia, you could answer now.
Thank you. I think some of the factors that contributes to global warming is how the industry currently has increased. I mean, the factory or the how to say, the waste of the industry and the lack of the sustainability ways to regulate the waste or the materials that is being used, and then the chemical things that is used, and just how our society, and I mean our everyday lives, we need the products from that factory or that industry. So I think we ourselves as human contributes to the global warming. Thank you.
Okay. I saw Miss Apria. You can answer.
I'm gonna give an additional opinion about what contributes to global warming. So the first answer is the burning, what is it? The burning fuel, right? And I'm gonna add one more answer is that the cutting down the forest. Like, what is it called? Nama lainnya apa?
Deforestation.
Yeah, deforestation. Because the tree is naturalize the carbon dioxide, right, in the air. It absorbs the carbon dioxide in the air, and if the trees in or the forest is cutting down, there is nothing that absorb the carbon dioxide in the air. So it's gonna be lack of the carbon dioxide. So that's my answer.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Apria. So yeah, I saw no one raising their hand. So I think I'm just gonna choose. Satriel, Mr. or Mrs. Satriel.
Yes, Mr. Satrio, you can call me.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Sorry.
Am I audible?
Yeah, I could hear you.
First of all, based on that question, I'm gonna say that there are several aspects that has influence the global warming nowadays. The first one is internal factor, and then the external factor. What is the internal factors? In my own perspective, internal factors is a reason that comes from human itself. For example, like human activity, and also like human human desire, how to explore natural resources itself, and then it makes a lot of impact to the environment. And then the second one is external factor. What is the external factors? External factor is a factor that comes from natural disaster and etc. So that's why I assume that probably 80% of the global warming comes from internal factors of the human activity itself, I think. I mean, it will be bigger than external factor if we compare both of them. Internal factor will contribute more than external factor, right? Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, that's all. Let me choose a couple more people. Okay. Mr. Mohammed, you could answer now.
I think Mr. Ota is raising his
I didn't notice that.
Can I say something related to questions?
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm interested in Mr. Satria's opinion, what he explained related to internal factor and external factor. But I want to highlight here is talking about someone's awareness, which Mr. Satria said internal factor. Why? It's coming from someone's awareness. If we do the bad thing little by little, and it doesn't count as a problem, or it doesn't count as an issue, but it is normalized by day, month by month, year by year, it will be a habit. That's why it will affect to the bigger factor if we always normalize or tolerate the small issue. What we did, for instance, we throw, how to say, trash wherever we want, or we do, we cut the trees, whatever we want to fulfill our greed, or only fulfilling for our personal factor. Do we consider about the long term for the next ancestor or next generations? If we do something and we always outreach, content which related to the next generations, I assume that we will do it wisely, not only fulfilling our desire or greed. Maybe it one of the biggest effect of global warming caused by humans' awareness. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you to Mr. Ota. So let's continue. To wait. Where's Mr. Muhammad? Where is he? All right. So I didn't see Mr. Muhammad, so I think I'm gonna choose again. Mrs. Shinta Angriani, may answer. Mrs. Shinta Angriani. Hello? Hello? Mrs. Okay.
Yeah, hello.
You may answer the question right here at the screen.
Wait, in my opinion, the for the question, what contribute to global warming? Global warming is related to generating electricity and heat by burning fossil fuels causes a large kinds of global emissions. The most electricity is still generated by burning coal, oil, or gas, which produce carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide, powerful greenhouse gases that blanket the earth and trap the sun's heat. Is it?
That's all?
Yeah, that's
Okay. Thank you.
okay.
I'll choose. Who should I choose? Macy Amelia Putri. You may answer.
I'm sorry, before I just join Zoom now, so I can't to give my opinion right now about it. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay. I think that's all for this question. Should we move on? Okay, so what is your opinion on our country's action to prevent global warming? Okay, Mr. Yanwar Laswardi, you may answer.
Okay, thank you for the chance given. I think I just continue my answer at the session before. For the global warming, for the carbon monoxide, the increase the increase of the temperature in the air. I think in the our government, especially in the Ministry of Environmental, they have released the act or the I think they released the act really to the decrease of the pollution, air pollution. They released Pollution Act number 17, if I'm not mistaken. In 2022, they just upgraded it. They just read it to all of the fossil fuel vehicle in Indonesia must fulfill at least Euro 4 emission gas. This is one of our government acts to decrease the global warming that's in the air pollution. I think that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I saw Mrs. Apriya. You may answer now.
Okay, so I saw a lot of Indonesian telling that, especially in Jakarta, they are saying that their governor has influenced their society to use public transportation a lot than a private transportation. So I think it's also the country's action to prevent the global warming, and also our country is also influence our society to do a reforestation. So I think it's also the reason, this is also the action of to prevent the global warming.
Okay. That's all? Okay. I saw Mrs. Nithya here. You may answer.
Okay. I think we can generalize the action in our as a country, but I think in some big cities like Jakarta or in the central of maybe Bandung or any other big cities in Indonesia, they already have a good actions or policy or system or anything to do to our the environment. I mean, like in some supermarket, maybe they don't provide plastic bags anymore, or they charge a quite expensive money if we want to use the plastic bags. And also especially in Jakarta, that the public transportation and the green cities has built quite good, and the system of the what is it the recycle what is it called? When we recycle or when we do something after our sampah, pemakaian sampah in Jakarta is already, I think it's quite good now, and the awareness of and the citizens awareness has already increased. So they started to differentiate the trash, and then they started to use the more eco-friendly products, etc. But in other cities, in smaller city, or even in the same city, but the but more age, like Bekasi or maybe pinggiran Jakarta, or I said, or like that, the rules or the system has not quite been built, and the people has not really aware about that. So I think my opinion in our country, actions, or as a verb, actions to prevent global warming cannot really be generalized, because yeah, I think there has been some progress, but it's been only in the big city. It's not really uh, sent decentralized to our whole country. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to Mr. Satrio. You may answer.
Thank you, moderator. What is my opinion about our country's action to prevent global warming? The first thing that I'm gonna say that we are on the right path. I think it's based on my personal experience and also my personal perspective, because I also work in government sector. So I do believe that our government is on the right path to prevent the global warming. Why? Because we have a principle like zero emission carbon by 2060, that we will try to achieve the target. It's not a small target. I do believe that it's like a large target that I really want to achieve by our government. And we also try to build our new capital city called IKN, or Nusantara, as a pilot project of the first green city in the world. And also our government also try to increase the number of electric car industry in our country. And also they try to build massive number of smelter of nickel or other resources or even raw materials. Our government also banned our export of raw material to another country. Because of what? Because we want to build the value by our resources first in our country, and then we are gonna to export some products from that raw materials. And then because I am a person with a low background, so I'm gonna say that the first thing that our government should apply is the rules of global warming itself. Like we also have published our law of mineral and coal by 2009 under presidency of the Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. And then I think the second one is we need to have our principle. Like I'm gonna said before, our government try to achieve the target of the zero emission by 2060. And then I am the person who also live in Kalimantan. So that's why if you already know that Kalimantan, there are a lot of palm oil industry here. There are a lot of like coal industry as well. But the problem is, in my own perspective, palm oil is a green energy. Because of what? Because by using palm oil, we are gonna to make another option of the energy in our country. And then, but some countries in the European continents and the Western blocks is trying to how to say to ban our palm oil in their country. And also so I think it's our big problem. We cannot export our palm oil products to European continent. They also try to press us under their NGO. Like I will mention, we call it a Greenpeace. Maybe if you have heard about this NGO before, Greenpeace try to press our government. So I think back to the main question, I think our government has a right path how to solve and also how to prevent the global warming in the next future. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Wow, his answers are really good. Okay, so I saw Mrs. Sophie Rua. You may answer.
I'm really happy to listen Mr. Satrio's argument because we kind of have the same perspective, and I also one of the person who grew up in Kalimantan, even though I was born in Sulawesi. So I kind of have like identity crisis every time I mentioned that I'm from Kalimantan, and they said no, you're from Sulawesi. So I'm not accepted in both places. But anyway, regarding to the question, we can see that one of the main factor of global warming, not only because of the transportation and public, but also because of the so many giant industrial running in our countries and in our country, sorry. And Kalimantan have a lot of hole. When you hear a word of Kalimantan, it's no longer a place where full of trees and green and forests. It is now full of hole. So it's Kalimantan nowadays. It looks like what should I say? Perforated. I think that's the right word to describe Kalimantan now. It's so hot there, and I don't think that I see forests there. They just palm companies and coal companies everywhere operated. Yeah, Mr. Cool. And then I think we cannot just say to the citizen of Indonesia that don't do this and do this instead. If the government do not take serious action, I mean, we can't force people to stop riding their private transportation if we as a government not providing more public transportation as well. How could you expect someone to ride a bike in order to feel like more friendly, or just ask them to walk rather than using more rather than giving more pollution to the nature if you're not providing the alternative solution regarding to that problem. So I think that's the main problem we need to focus to educate the citizen itself, like how we could able sorry, Mr. Sunshine. I'm using could able again. How we able to solving this kind of problem. And same with the previous speaker, which mentioned that, well, we need to stop using plastic bag. Instead of we need to use tote bag, or maybe like wood straw or like anything. I mean, this is bullshit because we changed the plastic bag into tote bag, but now ocean not full plastic bag, but now full of tote bag. So it's the same thing. Like nowadays, in the past, all the creature is like consuming so many plastic and then they die, but now they die by due to tote bag. So it's they still die. You know what I mean?
It's still the same thing.
The same thing, exactly. That's not solving the problem at all. So I think first, we need to educate the citizen by, while on the other hand, we providing alternative solution, and we need to really strict with the rules, in terms of the operating of the private companies, and also I mentioned before the public transportation, and I'm glad that Mr. Satrio mentioned about the prevention that the European countries have what is applied. For example, here I saw like the majority houses already use sun energy for their electric energy, so they're no longer using
Solar
coal.
panels?
Yeah, thank you. Solar panels, that's the right word. And it's I think in 5 years after now it became mandatory. So you need to use the solar panel in every houses. Otherwise you will get sued by that. So that's one of the solution that we could take example and take as a reference to apply in our country as well. I think that's it, Mr. Harris.
Okay, that's all? Okay, that's all from me. Okay, I saw Mr. Sunshine. You may answer the question.
Okay, I just want to also concisely wrap up all stated from Mr. Satri and also Ms. Sophie. I do agree. Probably, to be more precise, it would be more. It would be about incentivizing and disincentivizing. So, for instance, like we're gonna increase like what has been done by Luke, that he planned to increase the tax for non-renewable energy or fossil fuel-based vehicles, while also incentivizing, for example, by providing discounts for every electric motorcycle purchased by every single citizen based on their identity card. I do agree with that, but more importantly, incentivizing or disincentivizing should focus more creating a positive habit, creating a habit that actually make people become more aware, not by like disincentivize or incentive. I mean, like it's more about how they can understand the sense of policies, the sense of every regulation implemented or projected planned by the government. And yeah, it's been a while. Okay. In addition to that, I also would like to provide a little bit explanations with regard to what has been explained by Mr. Satya before. UDR or European deforestation is like it's kind of propagations in one point, but anyway, this stigmations kind of positive in a way, because even though Gibran as the candidate vice president #2 always talk about downstreaming, but there are lack of explanations on that part, because downstreaming still didn't exactly precisely consider the eco or environmental damages that have been severely exploiting the surroundings area, especially the indigenous groups there. So I can say that I don't particularly disagree with downstreaming, but there should be something that fixed from how the government set up these policies and executed. Because so far, I believe that the government's only concerns to how they can benefit so much from their stakeholders, from their partners of business. For example, like some countries that real mutually benefits from every policies made by the government. So the policy, I can say, does not benefit the society, does not benefit and even harms the vulnerable parties, especially indigenous people, especially those farmers, these local farmers that are not equipped with enough knowledge on how to increase the production rate, for example, or how they can embed technological advancements to their farming so that they can generate faster, especially anticipating unpredictable weather because of climate change or global warming, so on and so forth. And we know exactly just how El Nino is projected to lengthen, to prolong. And that's why we can say that I believe that we are agreeing that agriculture is the key sector of our country. But unfortunately, despite being addressed as a country that is like a maritime based, agriculture based, but we are not proud of being farmers. We do not even have a pride in supporting farmers, and this sector experiencing the most significant negative bad loan or bad debt in terms of getting loan from the bank, because the unpredictable weather is followed with the unreadiness of our government to expect it. And that's why our government keep relying on exporting rice over and over without providing significant mechanisms to counter or to mitigate these kinds of expected outcomes, the negative ones. I think that's from me. Thank you. Sorry, I was like totally enthusiastic talking about what to improve on our government.
Oh, it's okay. That's fine. Okay. Shall we move to our other question? Okay, what are the primary greenhouse gases responsible for the global warming, and how do they contribute to the Earth's temperature rise? No one? No one's gonna answer? Okay, I think I'll choose. Mr. Febri, you may answer. Hello, Mr. Febri? Mr. Febri? Hello?
He's taking water. He's taking mineral water.
What?
Okay. He's taking mineral water.
Oh, okay. So I think I'll choose somebody else. I think I'll choose Mr. Sunrise. Hello, Mr. Sunrise? Hello, Mr. Sunrise? Where is he? What's happening here? Mr. Sunrise? Hello? Okay, I think I'll choose somebody that is available. Mr. Yanwar, you may answer.
That's quite messy though.
Nobody answered.
And then you point me.
Yeah, because you're
Oh.
available.
Okay, I'm trying to answer this question. The primary factor of the greenhouse effect it's come from the what should call the glass itself, the glass is not only emits but is also bounce the ultraviolet lights to the environment. That's why the bounce of the UV or EV lights, it can also permit the high temperature, or maybe it also leads to the global warming. That's my answer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yanwar. I think I'll choose another person. Mr. Sunshine, you may answer.
All right. Okay. I plan to take another master majoring this one, environmental economics, so I can contribute on how synergizing economics has the value to generate more positive economical, ecological policies. But okay, to address this, I would say that what are probably the question is like the responsibility. Is it like the primary greenhouse gases responsibility for global warming? I mean, like just how much greenhouse gases account for the destruction or the contributions to the temperature rise. I can say I cannot I don't know exactly a number, but I can say it's significant. Okay, it's so severe, and that's why we are being told to wear like how do you say sunscreen, okay, to protect our skins before getting burned because of continuously being exposed to sunshines. Okay, so I can say significant because our government so far still, okay, I'd like to correlate it with our government. Our government is not ready yet to mitigate this. I can say that our government has a strong position to side with more economic benefits rather than balancing the two sectors, economics and also environment. I can say that the greenhouse gases is probably can be reduced by the government by relying on renewable energies, like what has been discussed before, for example, like using solar panel. But that's only one of them. Okay, I can say that like what has been stated by Mr. Satrio before is like the use of downstreaming, the developments of downstreamings of crude palm oil. It can contribute to another energy replacing fossil fuels like bioenergy, biomethanol, biofuel. Okay, I guess even though probably we cannot like significantly reduce the greenhouse gas emission, but somehow we can decrease other sources of emissions itself. So, for example, like the pollution, it can be decreased by electrifications of vehicles. I think that's what has been done, but still focus so much on major or big countries, for example, like Jakarta, but I cannot find the same in small countries. So that's why I proposed. I was like in the same agreement with what has been proposed by Anis, and how to change those small cities to become big cities like Jakarta, and that's why we can provide more equally implemented policies that can increase the overall welfare of Indonesia. Especially one proven evidence from him is to create and build how to say net zero emission school, if I'm not mistaken. It has been built like 4 of them in Jakarta, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's a totally progressive movement, progressive policies that have been done in his period, and that's why I'm going to vote for him. Thank you.
Okay, I saw Mrs. Apria raise hand. So yeah, you may answer, Mrs. Apria.
So the primary greenhouses responsible for the global warming is the methane, carbon dioxide, and also carbon monoxide. And how they contribute to the Earth temperature rise is the greenhouse gases is absorb the heat of the sun and then the greenhouse gases will trap the heat, and then they prevent the heat to escape from the atmosphere. So that's how the greenhouse gases are rising the temperature of the earth.
That's all? Okay, that's all. Yeah. I'm gonna choose one person that has the best, that always has the best answer is Mr. Satrio. You may answer.
Okay, thank you for the chance. What I'm gonna say that the primary greenhouse gases, I mean, is the first impact of that caused by the human activity. So that's why, if we see in the history of the industrial things, I mean, we can also understand and we can also believe that there are a lot of aspect that caused by the human activity, especially after the industrial era that started by 80s century, right? So if we want to create a green environment, I mean, what things that we have to do? I mean, the first one is people need to change the people's habit. I mean, people need to change their habits little by little, step by step, and also they also need to increase the awareness how to create, how to build the green environment in their circle. So I think of course the greenhouse gases, they are contributing to the earth temperature rise right now. But if we want to change, if we want to make great things, we have to start by the small step first, and then we have to change people habit and also increase their awareness. So I think that's from my own perspective. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah. So let's move to the next question. How can individuals contribute to the fight against global warming in their daily lives and communities? Who wants to answer? I think I'll choose Mr. Yanuar.
Yeah, thank you for the chance given.
You're
Talking about this question, I think I just want to share the way of the individuals to decrease the effects, the danger effect of the global warming within his communities or maybe for his nation. I think, yeah, as some speakers said before, start from our awareness to the environment. Maybe some of us, what is pecinta alam in English? Yeah, some yeah, kind of
nature lovers?
Yeah, nature lovers. Thank you. Some of the natural lovers, maybe when we hiking to the mountains, we must keep our trash in our bags, not throw the trash in the forest. And then as a natural lover, maybe we must keep our attitude. We must not to burn everything that we cannot extinguish. We cannot extinguish the fire. And then we must keep our rivers clean from the trash, and we must switch our option to mobilize to another cities using public transport, not use private vehicles, as you said before. I think that's my answer. Thank you.
Welcome. I saw Mrs. Nithya. You may answer.
I think the best thing we can do in our daily basis to fight the global warming, maybe we can reduce our energy consumption. Like we only turn on the lights on the night, or when the electronics is not being used, we can turn it off. And then maybe we can start from reduce the package product. Maybe we can start it to maybe cook or make anything from our home. I mean, do the DIY things, so we are less to use the products from factory, which cause the waste to the environment. And then to reuse, to recycle, the 5R, and then limit our transportation emission. Like we can walk, we can use the public transportation, MRT or train, and etc. And yeah, I think one of the easiest way is to eat more plant-based, because it is less harmful to the environment, and we can be more maybe be friendly to nature, I think. Thank you.
Welcome. I saw Mrs. Sophie Rua. You may answer.
Yeah, I'm agree with Mr. Yanwar when he mentioned about what you said before? I forgot, but I think we are the same. I align with your arguments, and I think there are main factors that we able to apply regarding to prevent the global warming. I think the main factor would be we need to change our energy into something renewable. Instead of using coal, we can use solar or wind power for our electricity, because I believe that the majority human in this earth have depends on the electricity. We use electric in terms of literally anything, like from the house and the public places. We need, even though like I'm pretty sure we can no longer live without it, right? And then the second one is I agree with Miss, I forget, Miss Apia, if I'm not mistaken. She said that we need to eat more plant-based and everything. I completely agree. If we are starting to prevent some big phenomenon by starting to put it into our daily basis. If you think that by using wood straw, paper straw, it's beneficial for environment, just do it. Even though it has small impact, but imagine that million people also this time, it's gonna be absolutely change, have a strong change in terms of the better environment. And also I think the other example will be, we can divide your trash it's so important to divide your trash from paper and plastic, and then the what is that, like compost. So it is very important to differentiate it, to separate it, because by doing that we know which one we need to reuse again and which one we need to throw them, instead of just burning them at the same time in the same place. And then the third one is keep doing a demonstration to the government. I think I'm sorry for someone who's not a big fan of a protester or demonstration, but I what is that? I recommend you to keep doing it. Please keep doing it to for the private companies to just recklessly operate in our cities that have a huge bad impact in for the locals, for the houses. They live far away in Jakarta, but we're in Kalimantan have feel the impact of the companies. So we need to keep doing that. And yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, that's all. Okay, so I'm gonna choose Mr. Satrio.
Okay, I'm gonna try to answer. What is the individual contribution to fight the global warming? I think I'm gonna say yes. It can, because people have their awareness to give their contribution to the environment. Like I said before, we have to start by small things before we do the big things. So that's why. What does it mean? It means that we have to start by ourselves first before we start a big step ahead. So I think to answer this question, I'm gonna say that sure, it can contribute to fight against global warming. Thank you.
Welcome. Gonna choose. Oh, I think Mrs. Henny has raised the hand. You may answer.
Thank you for giving me a chance to express my opinion about how to fight against global warming or how to reduce global warming. But I would like to say that this case about global warming, in this case, it depends on the human itself, whether we want to make the green environment or not, or we want to make a fresh air condition to our environment. That there are many things as a good human to reduce global warming. We can start from the basic one. Yeah, if you stay in your house, it's very important for you to change your light bulb. Maybe it's related to save energy, and don't forget to turn off the light, yeah, before you leave your house. It is the very basic one. Sometimes we like to make our house to light on, yeah, when we want to leave our house, so make our house still with light on, yeah, with light on. So don't forget to turn off your light before you go. Yeah, that's the basic one. And as a especially about our, if you want to get a fresh air condition, yeah, maybe we can change, yeah, or we need kinds of alternative, like we use public transportation, yeah, try to what is that, accustomed to walk in the morning, walking, maybe cycling. Yeah, but it's hard for me to choose public transportation because especially because I especially to go to my office, it's not easy to use a public transportation because it's waste my time. Yeah, so that's why I'm still using I go to my office with my motorbike because it's also full traffic in the morning and also to waste my time. Yeah, so it's hard for me to apply, yeah, especially about public transportation. And the third, yeah, you can make if you love gardening, it's a good method because you can make a green environment, go green. Yeah, go green. Try to plant trees. Try to to plant flowers or any kinds of plantings, so you can make your house like a green environment. Yeah, it's a good method. And next, we can try we can apply like 3R: reduce, reuse, and recycle. And try to reduce a can. Yeah, you can make if you love planting, you can try to apply recycle anything. Yeah, you can make fertilize. Yeah, make a compost. Yeah, anything that you can do to have a green environment in your house. And the last one, I guess that it's related to fossil fuel. Yeah, because sometimes we get a toxic gas, especially from the company. Yeah, because many of the gas or smoke or foggy from the gas, sometimes it's a toxic gas for us. So once we take a breath, it's not it's not good, yeah, for our carbon dioxide. Okay, that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Let me choose Mr. Dedi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hola, ¿cómo ka? I'm just kidding. That's Tagalog. Um, hello, Haras. How
Hello.
to call you?
Just call me Haras.
Haras.
Can you answer the question at the
Sure.
screen?
Yes. Thank you so much. I think it's really nice topic, Haras. Thank you for bringing this topic on the screen. Basically, I'm currently working in a company where it's one of the biggest contributor for global warming, which is agriculture industry. It contributes, I think, the one of the biggest carbon dioxide to our environment. And I think to be the representative of that company, I have to say that right now we are dealing with the project of what we call as carbon capture. We're trying so much about how we basically try to limit or mitigate the emission of carbon dioxide that we produce because of our company. So, because the question is about individual contribution, I think I do agree to all the speakers right here speaking about the to turn on the lights that if they don't use it, and to block out the all the things, the charger and every single thing in your houses when you don't need to use it. But I think there are several things as well that you can do. Like gardening, absolutely. For me personally, I've never really done individual contribution to global warming, but what I do personally, I think that I didn't use plastic anymore. I always bring my tooth back. I think that's, I don't know, can it in the like directly influence global warming? I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert in that particular field, But yeah, I do agree on everyone's opinion. I echo with them. But yeah, as the representative of the company talking about the contributor, yes, we're currently on the project of making it happen, that we're trying so much to not emit more carbon dioxide into the environment. So yeah, I think that's all to answer because I don't want to repeat or double others' opinion. Back to you, Haras.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, let's move to our other question. What are the consequences of melting polar ice caps and glaciers from the global climate and sea level? Okay, I think I'll choose. Oh, Mr. Satrio. Okay, yeah, you may answer.
Okay, thank you. I think the biggest consequences of the melting polar ice caps and glacier is people who lives close to the beach. I mean, if they live on the land that under the sea, it can be affected by the flood. Like there are a lot of flood that will comes to that area, and then it also has an impact to the people who work as a how to say nelayan in English. I can remember.
Fisherman?
Fisherman, yeah, because they don't have any other chance how to deal with the climate change if the polar ice caps and glacier melting nowadays. So I think um if we see from um the labor sectors, it can affect uh to many jobs, and also to many people who lives close to the the sea. I mean, and then another answer, if we what is the consequence? What is the second consequences of the melting polar ice caps and glacier for people who, I mean, not only for people, but for the country in general, like Maldives, they cannot do they cannot work. The government of the Maldives cannot work very well because they have like a huge, I mean, huge spot, and also huge point of the tourism. So that's why it can impact the tourism industry to the country that has big influence in the tourism sector. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay. No one except Mr. Satrio, so I think I'll choose. uh, Mr. Sunrise. You may answer. Mr. Sunrise? Are you there? Okay. I think I'm just gonna choose the best option here. Mr. Yanmar.
Yeah, I think the answer is quite same, just like the speakers in this room. Maybe I just want to mention a little answer for this question. The melting of the polar ice causes to the increase of sea level. Of course, indeed. This is also proved by some news that some of the cities in the country are threatened to be sink in the future, to be sunk in the future. I mean, this because the increase of the sea level. Some of the cities which are actually below the sea level could sustain this kind of problem. Yeah, in the future. And then is the melting of the polar ice is also increase the air temperature in the world. That's why some of the climate changes which actually the months of the rain, start from September, October is now changed to the hot season, and then the rainy season is changed to the sunny one. That's kind of messy. I think that's my answer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yanuar. I'm gonna choose Mr. Diddy. You may answer.
Thank you so much. You asked twice. I think, yeah, Mr. Yanuar and Mr. Satrio already emphasized very great points about what the consequences of the melting polar ice caps and glaciers. I think I want to add, based on my friend's perspective from the animal kingdom. So I think when the biggest consequence of the melting polar ice caps is that most of the habitat of the animals is also going to be decreased, especially for my buddies in the Antarctica right there, where they, like penguin, polar bear, they spend off most of their times hunting, staying all around the polar caps. But because of this melting condition, they lost their habitats. Means that we will lose some of the animals that we basically see these days. Other than that, already emphasized by Mr. Yanwar and Satya about the rising sea level, which already experienced by right now in Jakarta, that each year that we already experienced the drowning Jakarta Island and the sea levels rising every single year. I think when it also rising in certain places, I think also that the land is also decreasing by means that the decrease the land that we have here means that we are no longer having the place to stay unless that we mutate and to be a mermaid or somebody who can live under the water, like you live under the water, like Indian accent right there. So but yeah, I think it's going to change a lot of things, including the the global scale, including the economy, the people who depend on their lives into the fishery, because when the rising sea level increases means that it's also hard to basically see the what's that called, to catch more fishes into from the beach, or the is that coastal line? I don't really understand that. For those people who have the fishery major, please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, the rising sea level also inflict to those cases as well. And what else? I think that weather patterns. I think already happened. I think already emphasized by Mr. Yanwaria. Yeah, I think most of the time it's going to have globally impact to the society because of the decrease of the land that we have due to the rising sea levels. But most of my friends' house, place to stay, the animals are going also to decrease. So yeah, those are the biggest consequences that we're going to suffer due to the melting polar ice caps and glaciers.
Yeah,
Yeah, back to
and
you.
sorry, Mr. Daddy, but what I have heard that Jakarta is gonna sink around 2050. So yeah.
Around 2050.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh my,
2050, yeah.
yeah, that's why I moved to Kalimantan right now.
To IKN.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they sinking too?
I think not.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for the information.
Welcome. Okay. Really? Okay. I think I'm gonna choose Mr. Sunshine. You may answer.
All right, I got the last turn, and all brilliant ideas have been mentioned. I have nothing to say. Okay. I do agree with what has been delivered by Mr. Daddy before when it comes to economic. There would be such a severe economic consequences, economic risk. Okay, I do believe that not only the vision is because something that negatively impact the how to say these animals, yeah, sooner or later it will impact the human themselves. So I can say that it's like what has been stated when it comes to El Nino, that should be ended like much earlier, but because of the instability of the weather, it's projected to even prolong, and this will like heavily impact the farmers. And when it comes to economic consequences, we also need to take a look into not only the fisheries, but also um, uh, in a good way, in a positive light. It's not only about the negative things. I mean, like there would be some renewable sources, renewable energies that use the motions of the waves. Yeah, I mean, like this can still be utilized on how to produce something beneficial to not only rely on fossil fuels. So, despite having flooded, but we can counter this flood by, for example, uh, like operating certain mechanical engineerings or like how's artificial engineerings so that this flood can be like tackled not to not to like expand further and decrease the land. Okay, I need to read a lot about this. Thank you for the chance.
Welcome. Who else? Who else? I think Mrs. Henny. You may answer.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll try to give my perspective about this, but based on the other participant, I do agree with sea level rises. Yeah, if sea level rises, it means that we will get the kinds of natural disaster like a flood, and especially with people. Yeah, especially it's the big effect to people who lives near the sea. And the second one, yeah, it will be give a big influence, yeah, for our environment, especially for our sea, yeah, related to coral reefs. If I'm not mistaken, our coral reefs will be dismissed, yeah, if it's happened, especially for sea animals, yeah. And the third one, I guess that it will be damage for animals, wild animals. The habitat or their ecosystem will be lost or dismissed. Yeah, so they don't have any. They cannot have a good habitat. Yeah, they lost their home. Yeah, and the what else? I try to remember. and also it will be damage to our environment and our ecosystem too. Yeah, and of course the last one, our earth temperature. Our earth temperature is getting hotter and hotter. Okay, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So yeah, let's move to the next question. What does the global warming influence ecosystems and biodiversity, and what are the implications for plant and animal species? Okay, let me choose, but Mr. Yanwar, don't worry. I will not choose you. I think I'm gonna choose Mr. Satrio. You may answer.
Oh, my goodness, it's quite hard question actually. But thank you for chance. And then the first one of the answer for this question is of course, yes, global warming can give many influences for the ecosystem and biodiversity. And why? Because of impact that caused by the global warming itself. I'm gonna say that if the sea level increase too much, it can create a lot of natural disaster like a flood, like sinking of the city like Jakarta currently. And then how about the plant and the animal species? I think the first kind of the plants that will be affected by the global warming is how to say terumbu karang in English? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Corals.
Corals, yeah, corals. Corals will be the first kind of plants that will be affected by the global warming because of they cannot live in the environment of the sea that has a lot of danger things in the sea. And I don't know how to say too much about this question, but I think of course, yes, the plants and animals will influence. I mean, they will give like a negative, many negative influence caused by global warmings. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I think I'm gonna choose Mrs. Ekalita. You may answer.
Global warming is the question. I think it's a difficult question because to answer this, we need a lot of consideration from the expert, of course, and the sociologists, and of course for the biologists and economical expert as well. Because if we answer it for a fast question, of course we have answer for ourselves, but for the real impact, of course, you have a preference first, because for some condition, like the project of IKN or
to overcome the pollution in Jakarta, because it's not easy at all, because if you don't have any preference, you will overcome the problem with another global warming problem as well. It's because you feel that you just thinking that everyone that have a wrong decision is because they have intention to do that. It's not true. It's because they have a specific condition that encourage them to do that. For example, like Miss Henny said that she didn't she didn't mean not to use the public transportation, but because of she has a complex condition, so she has to use the motorcycle. It's only the small examples of the specific condition. That's why I think to overcome this problem, every party cannot um, just think their perspective is right, because the proper condition is referred to the context, and also the effective I didn't mean to be advertised for some parties, right? But I agree to the attitude that respect others' perspective, and as well that refer to the consider the real context. Because if we didn't have any preference, we just see that everything is like you said that you will overcome the problem, but how come you have another problem, right? Maybe it's too abstract, because I understand that maybe in others' thoughts that it seems like there is no solution. It's not like that, but it's for the small examples. Why in the Meikarta is reject to the society, right? Because they cannot perform their preference, that they said that they will build the property without destroy the environment. But the fact is they need to add the 35,000 hectares lands, and they play with the some parties to achieve their goals. It's only one of examples. So to answer this, I think it's maybe you have to be more specific, and of course you cannot force the solution, because I agree with Mrs. Henny. There is something that you have to consider more. Then you can decide to overcome the problem after you finish to resolve the problem itself. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need to speed up. So let's move on to the next question. How does the global warming affect the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events such as hurricanes, heat waves, and droughts? I think I'll I'm sorry, Mr. Yanwar, but You may answer, please, Mr. Kanwar.
Okay, thank you. To answer this kind of question is such kind of technical, technical way, more technical way. The effect of the global warming itself. Yeah, as I mentioned before, that the higher temperature is also caused to the what to say it, climate change. For the example, the melting of the polar ice cap, it also leads to the climate change. Okay, as we know that the rainy season is also changed to the sunny season, and so on, and it also creates some just kind of extreme what is it? Well, extreme seasons, you know. In a rainy season, as we know that in the news, there are some houses in the area that are broken due to the hurricane, just what the angin topan, hurricane. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Tornado?
Yeah, just like that. Hurricane or tornado. Some of the farmer face the bankruptcy because their paddy fields are dried because of the sunny season is so long. There's a scarcity in the water deposit that leads to the that's kind of crisis. Maybe that's my answer.
Okay, yeah, I think that's all about our question. So, thank you. Let me pass to Mr. Kush. You may take over, Mr.
All right. Wow, it's kind of wonderful session. Let's try us. Don't see about his age, but also his perspective is wider to talk about environment, or climate. Seems like he is enthusiastically environmentalist. That's why it's quite good at presenting or leading this issue, which some of you assume that I don't know how to answer these questions because it's too difficult, and so wait, let me share about some vocabularies that I got it from this discussion. What is it? This one. Okay. I just got it some new vocabularies. I got it from these discussions. It has account for from Mr. Sunshine. Tanggung jawab, intensify, memperkuat, or meningkatkan, inflict, mengakibatkan downstream, hilir ya, hilir, dan hilirisasi. Upstream and downstreams. If upstreams means hulu, if downstream means hilir. Lengthen, memperpanjang, and readiness, ketidaksiapan, indigenous, pribumi, sever, parah. Propose, bermaksud, or menyarankan. Dismiss, memberhentikan, coral reef. Last time, someone asked about how to say coral reef. Alright, but before we take a picture together, I would like to appreciate for our moderator here, our contributor, Haras. Are you able to see this one, Haras? Okay, that's good. It's kind of good. Okay, we'll take a picture. Let me take this picture. Please, one. Haras, please, 1, 2, 3. Let me take a picture for you. 1, 2, 3. Good. All right. Okay,
Okay,
good.
now
For others, yeah. For
everybody?
others, you may open up your video. We are going to take a picture. related to our meeting today with documented? Okay, good. Mr. Demus, how's your day? Mr. Sunshine, Smothia, Sunrise, hello. It's already night. How come you become sunrise? Miss Sophie, Miss Henny, Mas Febri, Miss Eka. Oh my goodness. Miss Henny, Miss Sophie. Sunrise is dark. Okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3. Go. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, go. Once more. 1, 2, 3, go. I will be neutral. All right, finished. Thank you very much for your coming and hope so much we are going to meet again the next meeting, next discussions on the weekly discussion. Thank you very much. See you. As I say, see you.
Yesterday, we said
Yesterday, how to say the
Antar
motto?
community. Yesterday.
Yesterday we said
Yesterday.
tomorrow. Okay, see everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Haras.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Haras.
Welcome.
Thank you.